What is up, Kingsmen? Welcome back to another Napoleon Total War 3 battle. Today we have a map I have never seen before. I don't know if it's a new map. As you can see, it has a coastline with some ships here, like a beach. Got a bunch of boats here. It's very cool looking. You even got an army camp right here. It looks like they set up. And as you can see, a bunch of town, village, urban looking. Yeah, it's very urban looking. And I'm very excited to see this map. Today it's a 4v4. This one was sent in by Chainmail, who I forget which faction he's playing. But we have France and the Swiss. As you see, we have Davout. And the Swiss, led by, where's that general at? So I did some research on Anton. And he actually served in the Russian army as well. Actually, Napoleon heard that he was moving to the Russian side, and he gave him the rank of Brigadier General just to keep him in his army. So, I believe we have Soult as well, if I can find him. Soult. And Jean-Baptiste is over on the left flank, so like I said, a lot of French. Jean-Baptiste bringing a smaller amount of cav, and just some solid, I mean, of course, you have the Guard Imperial, so he's going to be bringing very elite units. Now, they are going to be fighting 2 UK and HRE in Russian. You have Kutuzov, John Moore, Daddy Roland Hill, and Michael von Malaz. I'm butchering that, but you know what? Just roll with it, you know? So, the Reich, the HRE, taking the beach, as you can see. They're going to be marching probably along this beach. We'll see what they do. Like I said, you got my favorite, the UK, John Moore, as well as Roland Hill and Kutuzov. So, some very classic rivalries here. HRE, a faction you do not see very much. Now, as you can see on the mini-map, Cav is pushing out from the Swiss. You have Chasseurs Cheval, some Dragoons, and Chevaliers, as well as some Hussars. They are going to be scouting out. It looks very cloudy, my goodness. A little bit overcast, perhaps. Let's see. The Swiss are going to be rolling this direction. They do have the 4 LSC. Maybe they're going to take this 1 LSC. And I'm going to maybe let you guys see this map a little better. As you can see, a lot of choke points in this. Now, I don't know if they can walk across the river or not, but a lot of choke points, a lot of canals. I believe this is the Netherlands. And yeah, whoever takes this town center is going to be very well set. It is a 3-pointer. And it has just, look at all of the defensive positions that you can set up. The potential for this battlefield got me very excited very quickly. So, yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful map. It'd be a nightmare with artillery. Can you imagine trying to get the artillery through? So, it looks like some cav is starting to show up. Of course, you have the UK Light Dragoons. A lot of them. And, they are going to be kind of pushing back. Hussars from from the French are going to fall back a little bit. They don't want to get outnumbered. Their army is pretty far behind. And Soult, like I said, Soult and Jean-Baptiste are going to be the left flank. The Swiss and this other French army, I keep Davout, that's it, are going to be pushing. And actually, look at this. Okay, so they can go over the river. They can walk on the water. Of course, that slows you down, but they are booking it down this road. I mean, they're sending these. I love the Swiss uniforms. I don't know. It just, I love the color red, and then you get yellow as well. It's gorgeous. What else can I say? This kind of reminds me of the Japanese imperial flag from World War II. Just like, you know, the lines here. Just reminds me of it whenever I see it, just for a second. So this is a nice big open field. They could always hold right here if needed. You have your flanks protected by canals. It's perfect. And yeah, there's not a whole lot else really to say. It looks like France is going to stay right here. Just kind of wait and see what they can scout out. Now, I don't know how close. I hear them. So they're right around here and probably right around here. So it's very, very close. Now, perhaps some cav, some chasseurs cheval and all that, they are going to be able to tell very quickly who's going to get here first. They can scout it out And this defensive position, they got the wall, they got this massive tower. A pity you can't use this clock tower, you know. Could you imagine being a guy way up here? I mean, oh, okay, so here comes the Dragoons from Russia. Russia being very aggressive, and they got the Cav to combat France, definitely. And not only that, but you gotta remember the UK can form squares, so which is gonna really combat the cavalry of the French. Now, the HRE are probably gonna surround these chasseurs chevals unless they get themselves out of there, because they're starting to run. They're gonna probably try to catch them, maybe. But they are pushing along the beach. We got some. Too bad these couldn't fire. Could you imagine the offshore bombardment? That would be amazing to see. So yeah, looks like the Guard Imperial is probably. You don't want to get in a line battle with the HRE. They will dominate a line battle. These are really good troops, but there's not a lot of them. HRE can bring a ton. So I would be very cautious with the Guard Imperial. We are starting to see a lot of units, and it looks like the coalition is definitely going to... Oh my goodness, look at all the cavalry that just poured through the city. You got your Lancers over here from Russia. You got... Ooh, you got some Light Horse, a massive unit of it. You got more Light Dragoons, and they have taken the city. They're using their numbers very well to kind of push back any French advanced scouting units. So this is going to be interesting to see. It looks kind of like maybe this French army is going to try to circle around the flank. Swiss are going straight for it, and I believe... Oh, what's going on here? Oh, no. What happened here? Don't tell me they dropped. Because that is an imposing army, guys. Did they get stuck? I don't know what's going on there. I really don't. And that's going to be very sad if they can't get moved, because it's going to be so unbalanced if they don't have one of their teammates. So I'm really hoping that is not the case. That's always discouraging. It's what happens when you have mods.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Okay, so they have taken... Oh, we got the Swiss rushing in. They are going to charge all these Light Dragoons with their Chasseurs Cheval. France also going to send in some Dragoons and skirting around with more Dragoons and hopefully trying to envelop this little fight here. The Swiss are staying in the fight. They have a general right here. More Cav clashing over here, but here comes France and... No, sorry, Russia and the UK going against the Swiss general, inspiring these Dragoons to stay in the fight as France now comes pouring around. Oh, there's some skirmishers, the Grasshopper skirmishers who are going to start pouring fire. They have both buildings. That's going to keep them safe from cavalry. Over here, Russia looks like they are going to fall back. The Swiss, you be very careful because here comes the UK with a lot of cav. You got 4 units of cavalry. They're just going to start chasing you down, and I do believe that the Swiss, yeah, they're going to fall back, let their infantry maybe that can form square deal with the UK. Now over here, it looks like the Guard Imperial are playing defensive against the HRE for now. Just waiting, letting them make the first move, and letting their allies kind of push. If they can distract them, that would be very, very... very in their favor. Here we go, more cav pushing. We have the Chevaliers getting charged by the Light Dragoons. They have Light Horse, and it's probably going to break some of them. I'm still hoping these guys are going to move. Maybe he was AFK, and all of a sudden shows up later, you know? We're just going to hope that's what it is, because if that's not the case, then I'd be very sad. So it looks like the Swiss are going to push across in force. They don't even care that they are going to be getting shot at. This always happens. I'm going to catch it before it does. So they're going to march across, pushing all of their infantry across. They do have France pushing on the side, but here is the UK. Oh my goodness. They are ready for the French. Look how beautiful this map is, though. They got some 6-pounders forming up as well. We got the Highland Foot. I love how the Highland Foot look. Always beautiful. Anyway, I think I'm hearing some cavalry. Yep, we got some cavalry pushing up. These guys are hopefully going to form square. Yeah, they did. Causing, oh, that is going to hurt. And they're going to shoot them point blank, forcing the Cav to break and run away. Oh, I'm starting to see some movement from France. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so this is a reinforcing army, guys. They probably were AFK, and they're going to show up maybe in the nick of time. This is why probably they got nervous for a little bit. They're like, is he going to move? Alright, now this battle is really on. So the Swiss are going to advance. Russia is going to be trying to take them. As you can see, some grenadiers charging in to the building. Like I said, they're going to be going up against some skirmishers, so nothing really to see there. Some grenadiers are going to get charged by some line infantry. What they probably are just hoping to do is hold them off until they can take this building. If they can take this building, that could be huge. Oh, looks like we got some Cav getting charged, some Dragoons getting charged by the HRE.
Our men are running, sir.
Probably going to break and lose them. Now, France can't extend themselves too much. They got to stay with their ally, because the HRE could just swing in behind them using this road and just catch them in the flank. Looks like actually the Russia sent their grenadiers in, but they are tired. Probably attacked to the rear. We got more Russians rushing in, no pun intended. And it looks like maybe the coalition is going to keep this, but these are grenadiers, and they're Swiss grenadiers. So they are going to do very well. In fact, if you look here,
We have taken a building, sir.
they even look better. Yeah, they took it. They were able to push them back, even though they got 2-to-1 odds of that fight. So yeah, this battle is looking like it's gonna be fought in this the streets right here. As the Swiss have the building now, and they are going to line up in a very long battle line for firepower. And they're gonna get some shots off. They can always go in a column if they start losing a lot of men. That is a very large unit. So they're gonna pour more men probably into this house just to make sure they have it. France over here is holding the line against the UK, and looks like they're going to send some French units over here just in case the HRE try any funny business. The Guard Imperial hopefully are going to push up with their ally, not be surrounded. Alright, so I hear cavalry? Yep, oh, we got some Swiss Cavs, some Dragoons, who are going to be charging the square. No, not a square, my bad. Oh, maybe they're going to go for the guns, but they're charging some infantry, trying to drive back the Russians, perhaps. Force them to fall back and push up with some infantry. The Swiss are being very aggressive, but they better watch out. It looks like Russia has some artillery and, well, an excellent vantage point. Not sure if they're shelling the building, but this smoke and then the trees are making it difficult to see. So I'll do that every once in a while. I see France is starting to push across. They're going to flank Russia. Russia needs help. UK need to make an attack. They cannot sit back here and let their ally just be surrounded. The Swiss actually don't have to be super aggressive here. Yeah, and it looks like they aren't actually being that aggressive. If they want to wait for the other French ally to form up, that may be in their best interest. All I know is there's 2 UK factions, one still over here. So this French army probably is going to have to meet them. This French army and this French army are going to have to take on HRE and the coalition of HRE and UK. So holding solidly, France has gotten some excellent flanking positions. That's a beautiful flanking position. They're just going to shoot this Russian line infantry to pieces. The Swiss may be going to advance once again. And Russia should push on this flank. I mean, they are not engaging with the full strength of their army, and Swiss totally are. Oh, looks like we got a bayonet charge from Grenadiers taking on the 88E French line infantry. That is going to go terribly for them. As you can see, they're wavering already, and they're going to probably break. Oh, some artillery from the UK shelling the side of these. Oh no, it is Russia. Russia hasn't set them up yet, but they have some excellent vantage point with the artillery. UK setting up their artillery as well. And this town is going to be a hot engagement here. The Swiss are going to be able to utilize this building very well. I mean, they've done 0%. They've done 3% damage to this building. It's going to take them forever. And meantime, they're just going to be shooting at close range. So it looks like France is going to reform here. I would send more infantry in here. You can have more guys shooting from this building. Actually, it looks like that's what they did. They just filled it. 152 only. So My bad. Alright, so we have the UK showing up on this flank. Thankfully, France, I'm getting my factions mixed up. France is moving. They are going to be engaging them. Hopefully they can scare the UK into advancing into the town because they don't want to get flanked themselves. But we got UK pouring into the town. It looks like both the French and the UK are going to be supporting their allies in the town engagement. The HRE are finally showing up. They are so far on this flank, though. I mean, they maybe should start shifting a little bit and force the French to engage them, you know? That's what I would do. Start shifting this way, they would have to attack you to stop you from reinforcing and being a 3v2. Russia is not pushing. They're holding the choke points here. They are holding this town square, as we can see if we zoom in a little bit. They are just going to hold. This town is just been a hot contested point. More Russians forming up in the back lines. They gotta be careful with their friendly fire, but it looks like they're leaving just enough of a gap to be able to shoot at the Swiss as they are advancing. So now the UK getting up nice, close, and personal, and France is gonna have to start forming up. You do not want to see infantry in the water. They will have slower reload time, and that's gonna affect their line battle. Now, the UK have an excellent position with the Russians as well. The artillery is just going to start leveling this French army. The HRE over here look like they're actually, yep, they are moving over here. Like I said, they are going to have to force this Guard Imperial to engage them as they are just going to start pushing on the flank of France. Now, France does have some excellent artillery placement as well, taking turns trading shots. Now, these poor French infantry are just getting shelled into oblivion here. Over here, it looks like we got some Russians charging in for a melee. The Grenadiers going in. The Swiss, are they going to hold? Will they hold? Who knows? They are going to rush in. Looks like the Swiss are going to try to hold them out. Don't know how well that's going to go, guys. But enough of that. I would be out on the roof, honestly. It does, yep. So look at this. The Reich, the HRE have an interesting tactic. They are not advancing anymore. Well, that's mainly because the Guard Imperial has... They're being a little indecisive. And the HRE are going to use that to their advantage, and they're just going to advance. And that's going to force the French to stand in a line and fight them, but it looks like the HRE are probably going to get out the first volley, which is going to hurt. Ooh, the artillery blasting them too. This is going to hurt the French. Oh, they didn't get off the first volley. They didn't get off the first volley. There we go. Oh my goodness. Yikes. Alright, well anyway. While that battle is going to rage for quite some time, the French and Russians are still trying to hold this middle LOC. We got Russia getting bayonet charged by some French and Swiss. They're trying to hold on that side. Over here, the Russians have pushed across the river, and now the Swiss are trying to hold this flank. This is bad. You do not want to see Russia pushing super aggressively, but that is an excellent move on Russia. Now, France is getting close, guys. France is almost here. I believe this is Davout. No, sorry. Davout's on the far left side. No, wait, that's not the general. Where's the general? Davout. I was right. See? Second guess myself. Davout is going to be pushing, and they're hopefully going to clap behind the Russians. Oh my goodness, they're getting so close and personal with these Russian line infantry. This fight's still raging. As you can see, more line infantry just doing bayonet charges back and forth. These Grenadiers are getting broken by the Russians, but the Russians have lost a lot, and the Swiss still... Oh, never mind. The Highland Foot, the Black Watch, are taking on these Grenadiers. There's 71 of them left against 123. UK may have it, but I think they're going to probably throw in more infantry. Let's see how this line battle is going. As you can see, actually, the HRE are not doing very well for a second. They were eager. They are winning slightly, actually. They're losing. Okay, they're winning. Some are winning, some are losing. Okay, this left side is getting devastated. That much is very obvious. This right side, the HRE are definitely making some massive pushes. Artillery focusing on the side where they're winning. This is reading the line battle, guys, knowing which side you should push and which side you should disengage from. So they are going to push against the Guard Imperial on this side where their general is and where they are weak. Look at all of this extra infantry. That is going to break the French so fast. Now over here, this line battle is still raging. The UK pushing up against France. France still trying to just hold with their ally. It's kind of been back and forth. Over here, it looks like actually we had... Oh, I missed it. So the cuirassiers and chevaliers charged the Russians. I am sorry, guys. I knew about it and I didn't catch it. But anyway, the Swiss are going to start pushing them back. But here come the UK. And, well, oh my goodness. Some friendly cav charge, unfortunately, breaking the grasshoppers. That is one thing you always had to watch out for if you're going to hurt friendly troops, running them down. As you can see, they didn't get shot. They just got run down by Russian cavalry, the cuirassiers. So, very damaging. So, France is just going to rush through here and plug the hole. As you can see, the UK doing the same. But actually, maybe they're in a circle around this side. This fight's still raging. And actually, it looks like the UK may have to take up as Russia is starting to really get wasted here. Now, over here, the Guard Imperial are getting shot to pieces. Maybe some cav going in, making sure these guys cannot retreat. Going to form a square. Or not. What is going on here? So, actually, the Guard Imperial look like they're going to start fighting for their lives. They are surrounded by the HRE, and the numbers are starting to really count against them. Their cav need to do some quick action, as the HRE don't have a lot. They've spaced out their men that can form square, though. Exactly what you want to see. You want to space out the men that can form square without, and I actually think the HRE are going to take this. We'll see, though. We'll come back to them. I'll keep an eye on the mini-map. France kind of starting to really get hurt here. Davout has come so late in this battle, but they bring a lot of infantry. I mean, look at all this infantry. I'm looking to see if I can find the 4E. It's my favorite regiment. I don't know why. It just is. So, France and the Swiss are going to maybe have a better push here, but actually it looks like the Swiss, because they lost this building, they are actually going to fall back, take up a line of position on the other side of this river, or they're going to fall way back. Over here, maybe it has something to do with the fact that the Guard Imperial are just getting overwhelmed by the French. Or, yeah, by the HRE. And, oof. We got some French just keep getting charged by the Legion Hussars and just breaking. You can't afford to keep losing troops. The HRE are just so massive of a unit. They're just going to outshoot the French army. So this French army under Jean-Baptiste needs to just hold on long enough for something definitive to happen here. And now that Davout has shown up, maybe they will be able to push. The problem is with these congested streets, this may be terrible for the French alliance. We will see. Swiss actually going back in with some line infantry going up against... Oh, man. They're going against Highland Foot and line infantry. I don't think they're going to do very well, to be honest. Yeah. This is becoming a mess. Oh, we got some French cav charging the HRE cav, or in some Jaegers. We got more cav rushing in, engaging over here, so maybe the French are making a last-ditch effort. They don't have a lot. They do have their Grenadier Cheval. Heavy cav, guys. These guys could change the course of this fight. They gotta do something. This French army has to do something. Jean-Baptiste needs to pull it together or run for the hills. Because this HRE is just starting to totally surround him.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Over here, it kind of looks like, oh, the Russians may be starting to waver and break. Over here, Davout is sending infantry over, doing some bayonet charges, taking on the UK under Roland Hill. So, I keep wanting to say Roland Hill Daddy. I know that's his name. Daddy Hill. That's his nickname, though. So the UK are starting to break the French. The French are throwing in more infantry. They have, I look at that, Swiss infantry. So to match the Swiss, now the UK gonna have to reinforce this Russian line. This Russian line, 4 units trying to hold against the Swiss, going very, very poorly for them. Over here, the Guard Imperial, they actually sent in their Grenadier Cheval. I would be scared seeing this, honestly, going against these cuirassiers. Need to engage them, and yeah, they can get some infantry to maybe engage, but oh, that's gonna be a tough cookie to crack. They can get some cavalry to charge them in the back, but what is this? What are these cuirassiers doing? That was very odd.
The building, sir.
It kind of looked like they were pulling through the French cav. It's very, very odd. These Guard Imperial are still trying to hold. They're holding this hill as best they can, guys, but that is a desperate last stand, and these Grenadier Cheval are going to start just crushing any HRE cav in the way. Looks like actually, oh, here we got some Dragoons from France who are coming over to reinforce this French position. If they can break the HRE in chain route, they can pull this battle off. The Swiss have taken this building back. The French are back where they were before. The UK and them are just, it's a battle of attrition. There's so much happening. It is just a mosh pit. Looks like we got Russian cav charging and taking on some Swiss militia. And looks like the Russians actually have mostly lost a lot of their infantry. Maybe they're going to charge in as well. Do they flatten them with a cav charge again? So we got the UK forming up over here. They're going to start pouring in volleys. The UK, they don't actually have to make a super aggressive push, but look at all this cav from the UK sitting over here, which is probably why, man, they can go for the guns. I'd go for the guns right now. Maybe that's what, yeah, that's what they're doing. Ha! They read my mind. I'm just kidding. I read their mind. This cav is going to definitely wreck this French position. And all they have is some lancers to defend the artillery position. And they're not even paying attention. Oh, no. Artillery is just going to be lost now. And who died? Oh, the HRE lost their general. The French came back, and they are just starting to crush this HRE force, but the HRE have kind of crushed these Guard Imperial. There's 3 of them left. The general's sitting in the middle. It's very interesting. But the HRE have lost a lot, actually, considering this cav is just going to make short work of them now. This is the main hope for this French alliance now, guys. They have to hold here. They have to make some pushes. Looks like the cav is being engaged. The Swiss just standing back here while we have some Russian or some French line infantry that was engaging them. And it looks like it's a mass bayonet charge on both sides.
Our men are running.
Oh boy, I don't know who's going to win this. Over here we got the Swiss and French trying to hold back this UK cavalry while the rest of the Russian or the French line infantry advance on the UK. This is becoming just a mess. Town fights are always messy. Never, ever are they not. Now, the Swiss are trying to take on this Black Watch, these Highland Foot, who are, 72 versus, well, about the same, so who knows? Who knows who will win that battle? Uh-oh, we got the UK now sending over the Blue Horse Dragoons. And this may be it for the French. They may have just lost, unfortunately. The HRE just using their superior numbers just to totally squash the smaller French army under Jean-Baptiste. But they are distracting a lot of HRE right now. Here we go. Cav battle in the sands. Who doesn't like a cav battle in the sand, you know? So that's kind of unfortunately not going the French's way. Over here, they can still pull it off. The Swiss are starting to get broken in the center here. France is starting to throw in forces. Russia is basically almost gone. As you can see, the UK have taken over. But this town fight, this battle of attrition in the town is just ridiculous. I mean, the amount of dead. It's just unreal. This town hall or whatever it is just Crazy. That is the word for it. Crazy.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Let's have a moment of silence for all the poor blokes that are dead. Alright, so back to the battle. Looks like the UK are actually starting to lose in this battle. There's so much melee bayonet charging going on in the town. It's just unreal.
The men are fatigued, sir,
The UK throwing in everything they can. The Highland Foot are going to do very well in that melee. Over here, actually, the French are starting to really break these lines of the UK. And they're making some push through over here. Actually, the French have made a massive push through with the Swiss help. They are still holding this line, distracting a lot of the UK. They are breaking the UK on the left flank. They're starting to make the headway. Roland Hill needs to reform his troops or have some help from Kutuzov. Now, over here, the HRE have decided to just leave this small force to lick their wounds. And actually, it looks like the Dragoon Guards, the Blue Horse, are maybe going to deal with this last and Guard Imperial. HRE are going to come over here and help tip the scales back in favor of their allies. Look at all the smoke along this whole battlefield. The amount of bullet holes that are probably in most of these buildings would be unreal. Now, more bayonet charging going in. The French are going to bayonet charge these Russians. They have made a hole in the center of this coalition. They have punched straight through. They're throwing troops in, and they're just going to encircle one or the other. So I think the French can still pull this off, guys. Even though they lost a faction, basically, they can still do it. We got French engaging some Russians. So the allies on both sides are doing very well to work together. I mean, they are working together excellent. Oh, this artillery from the UK is just blasting this French line. And the UK probably want to keep the battle right over here because the artillery can just shoot the side. But the French have taken this LOC. If we look, LOC advantage right now is in the French alliance benefit. Now, with the HRE coming here, I would honestly form up along here, maybe, using the river to force the HRE to get close. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to have to deal with this HRE. So, the UK actually seem to be falling back. The Swiss getting really close, getting some nice solid shots. And it looks like, the UK had to peel off some more troops to guard their flank as France is just pushing and continually pushing. They have just punched straight through. This is what you would call a spearhead push, guys. And it was beautifully executed. The Swiss took most of the damage, dealt a lot of damage, and then France, Davout just punched through with his masses of infantry. And now the UK are in danger of being encircled themselves. HRE need to get there now. We got some French cav punching through. And now they're going to fall back now. As the French infantry are going to advance, this UK force, guys, has been fighting for a very long time. That's a very large unit of Swiss infantry, might I just say. They're actually giving the French a chance to reform to deal with the HRE, actually. So, oh man, look at the slaughter in this town. This is crazy. So now the UK are kind of sitting like, well, now what? They have to push or else their ally is going to be crushed. As you can see, the cavalry, the cuirassiers, followed by infantry, doing some bayonet charges and cav charges. Sitting here shooting them and stabbing them at the same time. Ooh, the humanity. The street fighting is so fierce. They're getting so close. They are actually starting to really break the UK. More cav from France advancing over here, trying to take out maybe the artillery position. Not going to, because there are some infantry sitting here that can form square. HRE howitzers sitting over here. They didn't even bring them on this other fight. But here come the HRE with some UK cavalry. And this is just gorgeous, guys. You have the town in the background. You have just where they are going to be advancing. I'm sorry, I'm cheesing. It's been a minute since I've seen.
Their general, sir. Now they must break.
Just look how gorgeous that is. Fight for the town. You can see the town in the background. We got some French cav charging in. They can see the buildings looming in the background. Okay, enough of that. Enough of that. I'm not seeing anything. So, actually, they can rout this UK cav. They could be huge. They're sending their dragoons, going to engage these dragoons. And who can take this? The UK are running, actually. Oh, friendly fire from artillery, and France is not giving up, and they broke them. The UK maybe weren't paying attention, and here goes that flank I was talking about, that spearhead push. The French are turning this battle around. They totally broke the UK. Now, this French faction, under the strong arm of... where's their general at? They better have their general close. Oh yeah, it's Soult. My bad. Soult is going to force the HRE to engage them while this Davout takes on the UK. You got John Moore. Roland Hill has run away to this side. He doesn't have very many troops left. And actually, look at this. Jean-Baptiste not out of the battle yet. He's advancing in the back lines here. But the French are going to make quick work of what is left of this this UK force here. Got cavalry running in the back lines, butchering any men that are running to force them to not come back. Over here, the French are going to make their stand. The HRE double stacking. They have to push through here. They may be the last hope. The final hope. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. You have the buildings barely seen now in the background. And this battle is going to be over on this side now. As the HRE, as you can see, just sharing volleys back and forth. The UK are not going to become non-existent as they just got bayonet charged, cav charged in the back. They're going to be gone, and this battle is going to turn out to be a French Alliance victory. The last fight being, of course, the HRE. The Guard Imperial are not out of this fight, and they want revenge, so they're going to just march up here like, you remember us? Remember us, because we remember you. I'm surprised he's still alive. He led a charming life, that is for sure. Someone had to be sacrificed, and the HRE, if they had been over here, they probably would have turned the scales. Now, they're going to try their best to extend the French line and then start flanking them. We got some cav moving on the flank, though, and these guys cannot form square, so this is bad news. And this is where the only fight is left. I think Roland Daddy Hill is sitting way over here, and it's not going to matter. Nature already putting up a massive fight, though. They did the job they were supposed to. Unfortunately, it just took too long. And now they are going to be getting outflanked. As you can see, Cavs starting to charge, and infantry starting to shoot them to pieces. And they're going to have to deal with the Guard Imperial coming in behind them. As far as final stands go, this is pretty good final stand. You know, they're not running away to hide. They're standing to fight and like, you know what, I'm going to die here. Their general gone a long time ago. They probably could have been in this fight a lot longer. These guys just could not catch a break, but they are going to be instrumental in bringing down this HRE force. We got Cav now going in the back lines, charging. We got the Swiss, the general himself. Wow. And here it goes, guys. This is the end. The French smell blood. They know they got it. And now the HRE are just going to form into an ever tighter circle as the French are just starting to go for it. Forming a square here. But it's not going to matter. If I was the French, I'd charge that. Just bayonet charge it. They're shaken. Their general was gone. It won't matter that much. Oh, it's going to cause them to break because, you know, there's morale shock of losing a unit. And here we go. Yeah, the bayonet charge. Ooh, that was brutal by this guy. He was eyeballing him down. But this map was very fun to watch on. I would love to play on it and also hate to play on it at the same time. I'm going to fast forward here as I think there's just one UK faction left. Alright, guys. So, like I said, this was sent in by chainmail. He was the Swiss, actually. Deployments, as you can see, HRE actually didn't bring a ton of troops. But well played on all sides. The losses and the kills were decent on both sides, so not a total washout. See, I can't remember if this was Davout or if this was Davout, but either way, let's see, the kills and deaths. The Swiss did a lot of holding. My goodness, 223 kills. The Swiss held the town and did a lot of damage, opened it up so that Davout could come in and just spearhead, punch straight through. It was a beautiful. That's why I love these battles. You can zoom out and just see the strategic pushes. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Stick around for more this weekend. We have a stream tomorrow for a historical battle. So, I hope to see you there. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. I do appreciate it. If you're not subscribed and you would like to become a supporter of my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. There's some things I can't do until I hit 1,000 subscribers. So the sooner I get to that goal, the sooner there's extra things on YouTube that you can do. So trying to push for that. But in the meantime, you guys stay safe. Have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you all in another video.